40th annual parade here in Denver, ending on the steps of the Colorado State Capitol. I'm Denver 7's Colette Bordelon, and this is a unique mix of a march and a parade designed to commemorate the work of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. This year, though, marked by a focus on the federal administration and, more specifically, ICE.
Love is a power and it always conquers hate.
On a day designed to remember.
We have to do the same things that Dr. King lived, worked, and died for.
This group is focused on the future.
Whatever is going on in this country, we can solve it the same way that we've solved other things, without violence.
Wilma Webb, a former Colorado lawmaker, spearheaded the state holiday, which was adopted in 1984. This may be the last march for her and her husband, former Denver Mayor Wellington Webb, who say they're taking a step back in the coming years.
The Webbs didn't just spend a few years trying to make this happen. I found out last night that it took 10 years.
For the last 40 years, Coloradans from all across the state have come to Denver for the parade, a combination of a march and parade.
So much better day than it was last year.
Like Cameron Tolbert, who was grateful for the sunshine.
It was like freezing out here.
The weather and what's discussed are both dramatically different this year.
It's also important to mention Renee Nicole Good.
Renee Nicole Good was born in Colorado Springs and was killed in Minneapolis by a federal agent this month.
We should be marching to the state capitol for the purpose of demasking ICE.
We asked Colorado State Senate President James Coleman if that kind of push is possible.
I know there's policy this year that's coming to address more immigration challenges, and that is a part of the conversation, not allowing law enforcement in the state of Colorado to wear masks.
It's one reason Tolbert is here on a holiday.
I don't think anybody should be getting pulled out of schools or out of their homes or be getting killed and just basically just mowed down by people, federal agents, people that we're supposed to trust.
A sentiment shared by thousands marching from City Park to the state capitol. This many people here in Denver, all coming together. What kind of message does that send?
I think it sends a message of unity, of community, of we're not gonna sit here and just let these type of things continue to go on.
A focus on the future.
Carry love forward in the name of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.
as the torch of this tradition is passed on.
President Donald Trump tying his pursuit of Greenland to a snub by Norway's Nobel Prize Committee. In a text message to Norway's Prime Minister Sunday, Trump said, quote, "Considering your country decided not to give me the Nobel Peace Prize for having stopped 8 wars plus, I no longer feel an obligation to think purely of peace." Trump's escalating threats shaking NATO allies, including Denmark, of which Greenland is an autonomous part.
We're not willing to give up the sovereignty and hand over 57,000 Danish citizens to become Americans against their will.
Trump also threatened an additional 10% tariff on goods from several European countries that oppose his plan. UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer on Monday called for tensions to cool.
The use of tariffs against allies is completely wrong. It is not the right way to resolve differences within an alliance.
Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni, who has had positive relations with Trump, also called the tariff threat a mistake.
Wanted to say that the prediction of an increase in tariffs against those nations that choose to contribute to the security of Greenland is, in my opinion, a mistake.
The EU, in retaliation, considering a so-called trade bazooka that would cut off U.S. access to key European markets and other economic countermeasures. Trump has previously insisted a U.S. Greenland acquisition is key to national security and keeping Russian and Chinese ships out of the region. Greenland's premier said on social media Monday, quote, "We don't let ourselves be pressured. We stand firm on dialogue, on respect, and on international law."
Según un portavoz del Kremlin, el presidente de Rusia, Vladimir Putin, fue invitado a unirse al Consejo de Paz organizado por el presidente de Estados Unidos, Donald Trump. El comité tiene la tarea de ayudar a desmilitarizar y reconstruir Gaza después de años de guerra. El Kremlin dijo que está revisando la invitación. Entre los convocados se encuentran líderes mundiales actuales y anteriores. De acuerdo con las respectivas oficinas, los gobernantes de Turquía, Argentina, Israel y Egipto también recibieron invitaciones. CNN ha solicitado comentarios a la Casa Blanca.